Welcome back, everybody. This is NJ Deuce here with Deuce Rooms. Today I'm going to be walking you through the pirate ship Escape. As always, if you get stuck on any of the puzzles, you can search me on YouTube to find out how to get out. So when we start off here, what we're going to see is kind of our first initial clue. The captain's orders were clear. Lock ye below deck till the tide turns. And basically when you read this, what it's going to tell you is to look around, find 11 total coins around the ship, and that's what we need to escape. So we know that we'll have to find 11 coins to get out of here. Now this first clue says to search the ship what was never left aboard, stay off the deck, see where the wood grows from the earth. That's where the first mark is found. So to get out of this, we need a 4-digit code here. And if we look around here, we're actually going to see that we have to look out the window where the wood grows to find our first code, which is hidden amongst the trees in the shape of a 1413. 1413. That gets us out of our first room. Now we need a key. If we walk in here, talk to him, we can pick up our first piece of gold. Now, our buddy here has hidden a key underneath our old cell. So we'll go in here, and drop down here, and run all the way to the end to find the key to get us out of the second room. Sort of a long run here. Pick up the key. Back first room. Sorry for my poor mantling skills there. But now we kind of get into the big part of the boat. Sails and flags tell more than any crewman will. Look to where the sun sets and read what flutters in the wind. So the hint there is look to where the sun sets, which is going to be the west side of the boat. Now, the west side of the boat, which direction is that facing? Well, if we hop in here, we see north, east, south, and west. So west side of the boat means we have to find where these flags are facing. These four here. Okay? So, if we look there, we're going to see the blue flag is a C, R for the second, E for the third, and W for the fourth. So our clue, our code is going to spell crew down here at the end. C, R, E, W to go into the next room. But can't forget that there are 11 hidden coins, so we've got to gather them all. So in here, kind of a trick here. The goal is that we have to kind of jump up here. Only problem is I'm doing this on PC and I'm not very good with my PC. And we have to go over here to get this hidden coin. Then we can fall back down here, and we're going to go into a hidden room. Right up. Talk to this gal. At this point we should have already collected 3 gold coins, and there are 3 more on deck, and to this point we do have all 3. So now we need to find the 3 that are on the deck here. So there's one there. There's one up here. Last one on deck is actually down here. You gotta be careful that you don't fall off into the water here. That's exactly what I did. But that is why I put this over here. This launch pad will help you back up on the boat, or 2 go over here to this coin. Always good when the creator doesn't do things right correctly. So now we go back in talk to this guy. Of course, you can do some exploring yourself. Go back below deck to find the others. Okay, so we've already found all 3. At this point, we should have 6 coins. Open this door. What do we have here? This clue says the cannons are quiet, the battle is done. Count what remains, not what's been flung. So that is the hint for our next room, because we have a 4-digit code down here that we have to enter. So if we count the cannonballs that remain, don't forget your coin, they're numbered for us, 1, 2, 3, and 4. What you do is you look at how many cannonballs are left. So 4, 4, 2, and 3. So our code's going to be 4, 4, 2, 3. Now this is where it can get a little confusing. We have a bunch of different posters here with different amounts of rewards for these pirates who are wanted. Now, don't forget you got to get the coin at each level, so go ahead and pick up your coin. At this point we should have 8. And if you'll notice, it should go 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, 25,000. So that's going to be our order here. Now, what is important about the order is actually the tie or the knot that these pirates enjoy doing. So if we know what our order is, we go reef knot is number 1, bowline is 2, square is 3, and butterfly is 4. So we have to look at the individual knots. So if we know reef is the first one, you can see a number hidden in each of these knots, okay, and they're supposed to be kind of hidden. So reef is going to be 2. Then we have the bowline is the second one, so 3. So we got 2, 3, squares number 3, so 2, 3, 1, and 4. So that'll be our code. 2, 3, 1, 4. At this point, again, we have 8 coins. 9 coins. And this is one of the more difficult puzzles here. What's important that we look at here are the capitalized letters. So, certain words are capitalized intentionally. And so what you'll read, the code says, "The sea lies" twice before telling the truth. Those are all the capitalized words. So the sea lies twice before telling the truth. So what that means for us is we have a picture of the Kraken here. Those numbers are not important, the first two. The 3 and the 2 are not important. The 6 is going to be important because we know that the sea lies twice before it tells the truth. The third one is going to give us our number. So we're going to have a 6, a 3, and a 2. What order do we put that in? Well, we go back up here and find kind of the hidden etch mark. Kraken, mermaid, and then Davy Jones. So the Kraken was 6, the mermaid was 3, Davy Jones was 2. Now you can see the little hidden area there. We know we have to get up under that to get out of this room. So we go over here. We know it's going to be 6, 3, 2. I believe if my numbers are right, that should be coin number 10, I believe. Now, you'll have to crouch through here. Another hidden room. There's our prop gun. That's going to help us get under that hidden door that we found earlier. So transfer. Hop back through. Now we can break out of this and go back to normal. Now we're in the basically last room. Don't forget we have to find the coin in here, and this one's actually hidden through a walk-in door there. It's so hard to grab this stuff sometimes. I don't know how to change it. So here's the important part of this room, and this is probably the most difficult puzzle you have to solve. We have a treasure map here that shows kind of where we've traveled. We have the captain's log of where they traveled to. Kind of shows the order everything went in. Now, this puzzle that we have to use to get out is a directional puzzle. It's going to have north, east, south, and west. So we're going to have to figure out the directions that these pirates traveled on the map using our hints here. Now, there's about 8 different locations and then directions they went to. How do we get that down into 4? A captain's true course be skipping the tide. What's going to be important here that is it's going to skip a route to throw the player off. So it's going to actually be every second direction. So when we start off leaving, we go to Coral Harbor, and you have to remember we're not going to use the direction for Coral Harbor. If you start at Captain's Landing and you go to Coral Harbor, it's going to kind of be a diagonal, right? So if you know diagonals, we know we're not going to be able to put that into northeast, southwest. So we go from Coral Harbor to Barnacle Bay. So if you look at our map here, Coral Harbor down to Barnacle Bay, that's a direct west. So that's going to be our first clue. We skip heading to the Gallows Point, and we're going to go from Gallows Point to Cannonball Cove. Gallows Point to Cannonball Cove is directly south. We skip heading to Keel Hall Crossing and go from Keel Hall Crossing to Smuggler's Pass. So from Keel Hall to Smuggler's is north. So we've got west, south, north, and then our last direction is going to be from Smuggler's to Gallows we ignore, and then go from Gallows to Stormbreak. So from the Gallows to Stormbreak is south again. Okay? So our code is going to be west, south, north, south. West, south, north, south. That's going to be our 4-digit code. West, south, north, south. We are out. We should have, unless I've skipped, all of our coins ready. Because if you notice earlier, you come up here, it's locked. We're trying to get back to our home island over here. All of our coins are there. We open it up. Congrats on escaping. The rift will take us back to our island. And then we've escaped. Congrats. Deuce escape rooms. Pirate themed escape. Congratulations. You can always kind of go back and explore. We have the big flag here with Deuce escape rooms. Thank everybody again for playing. Follow and subscribe for more rooms.